Fairy get down, good lord. Stories got 'em open all on YouTube. Strictly stories, she don't play around. Cover much ground, on ready by the pound. Making you laugh is a forte, each and every day. True fairy way. You know I said it's story time. Well, you know it's choosing beggars time. Well. I've had that song stuck in my head all morning and I had to try it. So, you're welcome. Let's get into it. They're only cheap sausages, though. Posted by user AmberLeeJack1. This happened a couple of years ago, but thought it might fit. I used to manage a boarding house. There were about 20 people, most on welfare and a bit down on their luck. Most have been slapped in the face by life more than a few times. Since many of them didn't have family, I decided to give them a semi-decent Christmas day. I got a Christmas tree, a backyard cricket set for everyone to share, as well as some small individual gifts. I also filled the gas for the barbecue, got enough bread, cake, chicken, ham, sausages, and snacks for everyone to have food on the day. I also made them a massive salad and baked them some cookies. Everyone was stoked, until I got a knock on the door from one of the residents who told me I needed to get sauce, because obviously we'll need sauce. On the day, I heard the same guy chatting to another tenant. The guys mentioned how it was nice having food and gifts for the day. His response? They're only cheap sausages, though. Oh my god. Wow. So this person went out of their way, took money from their own pocket to buy everyone something, and it just wasn't good enough. Like, some people just think that it's coming from a big charity or something, and even then, they should still be grateful, but it's like, no, like, this is one person doing this. Like, I don't want recognition for this, but it's, as an example, a couple of years ago, when I got my tax return, I went and I bought a whole bunch of stuff that kids could have for Easter morning. And I found somebody who was in need, and I donated a bunch of stuff. And I didn't really have that much, but I had a little extra, so I decided to help somebody. And it's like, it's people like me that are helping those people. It's just a little bit extra that you have. So it's frustrating because you really want to help people, but then you have these people that just take it all for granted, and it's unfortunate for the rest of them. But yeah, so how was your guys' weekend? Oh, it's good to be back. I miss doing videos, but it was nice to have a little break too, where I didn't kind of stress myself out trying to get these videos out. But I mean, not that I'm saying that these videos are super stressful, but sometimes my computer is a fucking asshole. Free vacation courtesy of the local homeless prevention charity. Posted by user Specy Spicy Meatball. My friend told me this story yesterday. She works at a local charity where their entire mission is to prevent homelessness. The charity is located in a very high-call city. I'm not sure what that means. They provide rental subsidies, utilities assistance, job training and placement, and cash grants. They run a food pantry and clothing giveaway. They also have 2 small apartment buildings to house families who have lost their homes. One of the things they do is provide relocation assistance. This is not homeless dumping, where they round up homeless people and bus them to someone else's city where they become someone else's problem. Rather, it's designed to help people who are in over their heads and can't afford to live in this high-call area, and want to get back to a part of the country that's maybe cheaper to live and where they'll have family support. This program provides the one-way bus or plane ticket to the individual anywhere in the country. Usually they're headed back to family, their original home. However, the caveat of this program is that once you accept the ticket, if you go back home and decide you don't like it there and you come back to this high-call city, you are no longer eligible for services from this charity. In other words, they're not going to pay you to go home just to see how it goes. Then if you decide you don't like it, let you come back and continue to provide you with free apartment, rental assistance, etc. No. If you make the decision to leave the area on their dime, that's fine. But they're not going to keep helping you if you turn around and put yourself in the same position. The participants of this program have to sign paperwork saying that they understand all of this before the charity will buy their plane ticket. So this entire family signs up for this program to go back somewhere to the Midwest. Mom, dad, and 2 kids. They can't make it out here. They're going to live with grandma. 2 weeks later, they show up at the charity wanting more help. The puzzled caseworker says, "But didn't you guys just move back to live with grandma?" "Oh no," says the dad. "That was just a vacation. We're back now, and since I haven't worked in 2 weeks, we're gonna need $1,500 to make rent this month." They told him no. Womp, 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 womp. Wow. So he just used the charity to have a vacation. That's fucked. See what? These people are like just taking advantage of the system. Stop. Why are people like this? Why? Oh, and my dudes, did you happen to notice? I got a new avatar. Yes, it is beautiful, I know. I drew it, and then I scanned it, like I did I traced it in just black ink, and then I sent it to somebody who then colored it for me. They kind of tweaked it slightly more than I wanted them to on the creative side, but whatever. I still think she's super cute. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of the new look, or should I go back to the old one? Let's hear your thoughts. Give me more cake for baby food. Posted by user Watson and Dawson. This is from a while ago, so sorry for generalizations. I was out with my friends getting ice cream, and we also had a cake box with us. We had bought a cake for a party. A man begging for money walked up to us, and I decided to give him the money I had left, which was change I had, totaling about $3 to $5. I then went to turn back to my friends, but he didn't walk away and started saying, "Food. Food for my baby." And, "I just had baby. I need food for my baby. He is 1 month old. I need food for my baby." He was using a photo of a woman and newborn who were allegedly his wife and kid. I was confused and asked him what he meant, as we didn't have food. We weren't eating. He pointed to our cake box resting on the table and starts saying, "Food for baby." And, "I need food for my baby. I don't have any." I asked him, "You want our cake?" And he said, "Yes, food for baby," and started reaching towards it. I said, "No, we need that," and put my hand on the box, and he dropped his arm. He then asked for more money because he needed food for his baby, and I told him I'd given him all I had. He finally left, but I made my friends wait a while before we left in case he followed us or something. Still weirds me out as to how is a baby going to eat cake? And even if it can, cake is not healthy for babies. That's right. Cake is not healthy for babies. I mean, maybe like a little bit. You could give them a little tiny, because it's mushy, right? They can eat cake, but yeah, not a whole cake. You shouldn't be feeding a whole cake to a baby, I don't think. I don't have a baby, so I can't speak from first-hand experience, but, you know, I'm not a doctor either, but just logic tells me you shouldn't feed your baby a cake. Homeless man denies my food I try to give him and throws a tantrum. Posted by user Heckin' It Up. I think. When I was younger, I threw a birthday party that had hot dogs and hamburgers. That was like every birthday party. There was a bunch left over, and my town has a large homeless population, so I decided to go around and hand out my fresh extras. I asked one man with a sign that said, "Anything helps, very hungry, want food," if he'd like some food. He happily walked up to my car, and I went to hand him a few hamburgers, and he goes, "Those better be vegetarian or I don't want them." Awkward silence, and I say, "No sir, I'm sorry, they're regular." He then cussed me out and called me useless, all while losing his shit. It was really something. 10 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I would remember that too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my vegan comments to myself because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't understand it. I love hamburgers taste so much better than vegan hamburgers. I'm sorry. They're just so good. But I could live without hamburgers, period. If I had to live without hamburgers, deal. But can I still have chicken and fish? Because I eat chicken and fish a lot. Beggar threw away clothing my mom gave them. Posted by user GhostCoffee1. So my mom usually isn't one to give in to beggars, and that beggar was the kind that would knock on people's doors to ask for money and stuff. For whatever reason, that day my mom decided to offer them some clothes that no one in the family wore anymore. Mostly children's clothes that my brother grew out of. They were still nice clothes and very warm considering that it was getting cold outside, and the beggar was a woman claiming she needed money for her children. So my mom thought she was doing a good deed by giving her these perfectly good clothes. Well, fast forward a few days later, and as my mom was crossing a small bridge next to our home, she noticed the clothes were floating in the water, clearly having been dumped there. Oh, wow. What the I mean, it could be that she was robbed by another beggar. You never know, but yeah, that doesn't look good. That sucks. Last time I cave into a beggar. Posted by user KOTBOEH. The usual. English is not main language, and I am on mobile too. Me and my girlfriend were walking to a small specialized store which sells foods from another country. Some dude walks out just as we were walking in. He asked for money, which neither of us has, and when I told him that, he asked if we could buy something for his kids to eat. I didn't have it in me to say no, so I looked at my girlfriend hoping she would take initiative, as we were quite low on money. But of course, she had to agree on buying something. There was plenty of all sorts of food, but as we didn't have much, I told him to pick something within reason and even recommended some stuff. Yet, he picked some sort of beef jerky, and I agreed to it, as I just wanted this interaction to end. While we were paying for our own groceries, he walked out without even thanking or anything. And when we finally walked out, he was catcalling at women passing by and offering them some of the jerky. If I could, I would always give something to a person in need, but because of people like that, I will most likely avoid it next time. Fuck people like that. Yeah, that's right. Fuck people like that. If that was me and I saw him doing that after I bought him jerky, I would have ran up and I would have grabbed it out of his hands and then I would have ate it and said, this is some good jerky, as I'm walking away. Oh, no. Choosing Beggar insists I should sell them flowers for less than cost price. Posted by user Sheldonix. So during my teen years, I worked on a flower stall in an outdoor market which sold various flowers and plants. The prices were very low compared to florists and were even very competitive supermarkets, so most customers found us very well priced. Honestly, we very much were. We were able to make a 50-pound bouquet typically offered from a florist for around 20 pounds. This particular Choosing Beggar encounter happened when I was working there already for a few years, and my boss was busy making deliveries, so I was manning the stall all by myself. So basically, I was in charge at this point. The conversation is paraphrased, but the main points of the encounter is reflected. It was a typical Saturday, and I had a steady stream of customers when a middle-aged man takes an interest in our roses. Our roses are kept on the highest level of display because they are fairly fragile and expensive. We approach customers as we prefer for them to not touch the flowers, as we constantly have breakage and damages because of poor handling. Me. Hi, how can I help? Choosing Beggar. Hi, I don't need any help. Proceeds to reach over various other flowers and started yanking the roses. At this point, I became alerted as the Choosing Beggar was damaging other flowers below him and was likely to break some roses. Me. Excuse me, do you mind stepping back as you're damaging the flowers below? Choosing Beggar. No, I'm not. So I know how to handle roses. He very much did not. At this point, I approached the buckets he was squashing and moved them and proceeded to grab the roses away from him. Me. Let me help you there with these roses. How many would you like? Choosing beggar. I want 24 roses with that white stuff. He was referring to the gypsophilia flowers used to complement the roses in pre-made bouquets. Now we have requests from customers in the past failing to realize how expensive roses are, so we always clarify the price. Me. For 24 roses, that would be 48 pounds. The gyp would be around 5 pounds, but I'll be able to bouquet for 50 pounds. All those Choosing Beggar bells were ringing in the Choosing Beggar's mind, and cue Pikachu meme. Choosing Beggar. What do you mean 50 pounds? That's way too much. I was expecting to pay 5 pounds. Your other roses are only £2.50. The Choosing Beggar was pointing to the short stem roses we were selling for £2.50, which are lower quality and are cheaper in cost price. Me. Well, these roses cost us £1.20 each from the wholesaler, as they are the best quality long-stemmed, so charging £2 per a rose is pretty reasonable sale price. Choosing Beggar. No, it's not. You're trying to exploit me. The most I will pay is £5. Give me the flowers. Now I was getting pretty annoyed at this point and decided to make one final proposition to the Choosing Beggar. Me. I cannot sell these roses for that price. We have mixed bouquets for £3.50 and small roses for £2.50. Choosing Beggar. Those are not as nice. Why should I settle with those? You must give me the big roses for £5. Where is your boss? At this point, I had hit my point with this customer, and my boss allowed me to refuse service if I get customers like this. Me. My boss is away, so I'm in charge. Because I am in charge, I have the right to refuse service, so please leave. Maybe you'll be better served at local high street florist nearby, which was definitely more expensive. The Choosing Beggar was offended, but could see he wasn't getting anywhere and shouted at me that he'll be having words with my boss. I just laughed at this point. TLDR, Choosing Beggar wanted expensive roses for 1/10 of the price because of cheaper, lower quality alternative, refused other alternatives, and claimed he'd be having words with my boss. I just laughed it off. Roses are expensive, and it's stupid. Like, they're so common, they're so, basic. You know what I mean? Like, I hate roses. They're just, I don't know. I don't hate them, but I don't like getting them because I know how overpriced they are. They're ridiculously overpriced for roses. And I understand, cultivating roses in horticulture and all that, that's like a whole other skill, like botany. I do not have. I have a black thumb. I kill everything I try to grow. But like, it's ridiculous how expensive roses can get. And there are much, much, much prettier flowers out there, my dudes. Roses are basic, okay? Alright, my dudes, and the last story of the day is going to be a subscriber-submitted story by my dude, Iron_Man_Reigns. So this one is from the r/entitledparents with a side of possible r/regular or pro revenge in future update, which is called Tales from the Driver's Seat. Why, oh why, do I get stuck with coworkers like this? Woohoo boy! Where to start with this? Of course, obligatory spoilers, English is first language, etc. And here's the cast. Me, obviously, useless coworker, UC from this point. Not much dialogue, as this is more of a description of events rather than direct contact for the most part. About mid-October, we hired a second driver so I could get some time off. At first, coworker was damn good at keeping up with the workload and working every second day, so I was getting a decent amount of time off. However, this all changed just before Halloween and steadily went downhill from there. I did not meet her in person till just before Halloween. Not long after I met her, she mentioned that her kid will eventually need surgery for tonsil removal and that she will need to take a week off for that. Okay, cool, just let everyone know when it happens. Then, she booked Halloween off so she could go trick-or-treating with her kid. Okay, I get it. But now we are starting to see signs of her being the all-too-familiar entitled parent in a way that she finds reason to go off work because of her kid. Okay, fine, whatever. Not long after this, a woman who was like a second mother to me passed away, and I was hoping to get time off for the funeral. Here is where the second entitled parent moment comes in, and the limited dialogue begins. Useless coworker. Hey, could you open for me on this date? Day of funeral. My son has an appointment to book his surgery. Me, a bit annoyed, but at this point, not in a position to say much yet. Sure, no problem. The funeral is later in the afternoon, so I may still be able to make it. Spoiler, I did not make it. Useless coworker. Thanks! This conversation was followed by her calling me 2 days before the funeral, asking if I could work either Thursday before the funeral or the Monday after that weekend, because she has a job offer come up for a second job and she needed one of those days to go for the orientation. I tell her that I had plans for the Thursday, so the Monday would be better. I go in that Wednesday and inform my boss about her having this offer, just so he has a heads up about possible limited availability. She had not said anything to him yet. Inwardly, I'm thinking, oh great, now how much is she gonna tell them just to try to keep this on top of it? That weekend goes okay otherwise. She worked the closing shift on the day of the funeral and I worked closing on the Saturday. Here is the next bit of entitled parent that Saturday night. Me. Okay, which one of us is working tomorrow? Sunday. Asking mostly so if I can see if I can get my lost day off back from working the coming Monday for her. Useless coworker. Oh, I thought you were working it. I had plans to go to church tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. Note, first time the subject of church came up was the previous weekend. She ended up working it just because of the day rotation, ending up with her on shift that day. So this wasn't a new thing, but like I said, I was hoping to get the day off to make up for working for her on Monday. Me. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. So the rest of the week goes uneventful. I did end up with that Wednesday off, however. I would have had it off either way, so moot point. Friday rolls around and I'm looking forward to getting off early that night so I could go to the Christmas Expo with the wife as a date night and a bit of Xmas shopping for our nieces and nephews. She gets there late and right off the bat states that her kid is with her because she did not have a babysitter. Note, there are others that could have done this for her, but we will get back to that in a moment. Okay, no problem. Hell, my wife was riding shotgun with me in my car, so it is not uncommon for drivers to have passengers. Sometimes said passengers can help a lot when there is a lot in the car. She then goes on a sob story about not getting much sleep and having no babysitter to one of the owners, who then turns and tells me that I was closing that night and that she was only working for a couple of hours. At this point, I have one of the first moments of not being happy with this other driver, mainly because my plans were blown to all hell and I was vocal about that particular point. I had been looking forward to this show all year, mainly because it has allowed me to find new things to try out in my recipes at home and finding interesting gift ideas along the way. To properly get through this show takes close to 3 hours, mostly due to the fact it takes up 3 buildings. Anyways, my boss makes it up to me partly by letting me go and take an hour break. I ended up taking closer to 1.5 hours, but got some shopping done as planned. So she came in on Saturday for closing, which she worked that entire shift. I even got off earlier than normal that night to make up for the clusterfuck that was Friday. I ended up working Sunday to Tuesday, had Wednesday off, worked Thursday, which leads us to this weekend, and where this story may just go from r/entitled parents to possible r/regular revenge or r/pro revenge. We will see how this plays out. Anyways, on to current events. On Friday, I am again looking forward to possibly getting off early, as I should be. Did not get much sleep Thursday night due to IBS symptoms, so getting off early would have been nice. Get there right at 11 a.m. on the dot. Have a slow lunch hour. Go do my own thing till around 3. Get back to the store 10 minutes before the time I was supposed to be there. In a good mood about this fact. was in said good mood till the owner dropped the bomb I was closing that night. She had called in stating her kid was in the hospital due to a fever that he apparently had since Thursday night. Crap. Okay, whatever, we'll work it through. As far as it looked, she was to return tonight, Saturday night. As far as both I and the closing boss knew anyway. I get to work today and have a slow lunch hour again. In fact, one owner told me that I could take off for my free phase a bit earlier, but at the same time mentions I am closing. Again. Same excuse. So here I am, like, okay, at least I slept close to 8 hours, so I'm better prepared for this. Kinda expected it, to be honest. Which leads to the situation as it now stands. For those of you counting, she has disrupted and screwed me over 6 times thus far, completely unsure if I have Wednesday off or not as anticipated. Anyways, moving on. Now with things as they are, I started to get suspicious. Blame this on 12 years in the security field. I am hardwired to question things when they go outside normal routine, so if things are serious as she claims, the kid is quite likely to be admitted to the hospital. Especially if said fever has been ongoing 3 nights at this point. That said, common sense would dictate that she would be at said hospital for at least as long as possible, right? Anytime I was near that area of town, I would check the lot, watching for her car. The 3 times I ended up that way during shift, guess what? No car. We ended up seeing her driving around towards a part of the city where there are known drug houses. So, red flag number 1 as to what is possibly going on. Red flag number 2 was the fact that my wife noticed signs of possible drug use the previous weekend. Red flag number 3 is the fact that she has admitted to being a drug user and stripper in the past. So now the working theory is that she got on something to deal with having to do 2 jobs. Another possible theory I'm tracking down is the chance she may have started delivering for another store. Guess time will tell what the truth is. Now back to the point of having no babysitter. She already mentioned her old man does not work. Plus she has an older teenage daughter. So 2 possibles right there for coverage. Point being, she knew she had to work. She should have gotten a power nap in and had her shit together. TLDR. Coworker was great at first, then went to hell in a paper basket and screwed everyone else over. We'll hopefully post follow-up later this week as I have spoken to my boss about my concerns over this matter. Holy shit, dude. Why? I don't understand. She's clearly shady as fuck. Why is she still working there? I mean, I guess you can't know until you really know, but I really want to hear updates. My dude, updates, please and thank you. And also, if I did not say it before, I am very, very sorry for your loss. That's a shame. Alright, my dudes, that's all the stories I've got for you today. I hope you liked this video. I know I'm kind of a weirdo and I do weird things and sing when you guys probably don't want me to sing. But yeah, we all gotta have fun, right? So if you liked it, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell icon. Otherwise, YouTube won't tell you when I have new videos. And that's just balls. So don't forget to do that, and as always, the links to these stories will be in the description, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And as always, submit your stories, my dudes. I always love hearing your stories. Sometimes it's kind of depressing like this when, you know, you feel for the people and you wish that these choosing beggars didn't exist so they could pay their respects like they should, but in other times, these stories are super hella funny, and you guys just keep them coming. That's all I'm saying. Keep them coming, and yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a fantabulous day, my dudes.